two.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another amazing and excitingly cool episode of CLX Foundry Live. I'm your host, DJ Blue PDX. Joining me live right now from our Wichita, Kansas studios is our lead technical expert, Paul Steffens, and our master builder at Zach Hutchinson. Let's go. Killingworth. God damn it, I did it again.
It's a meme now.
I don't know where that came from. I'm so sorry. Zach's killing my worth. There we go. Oh, so we've got a fun day today, and what's going to be fun is you don't have to look for codes. Do you know why? Because we're going to announce the winner! One of you, potentially, possibly, probably, perhaps, allegedly, and maybe-ish could be the winner. But to find out about that, you got to stick around the channel a little longer and see what we do. Now, regarding what we do, we're going to do something awesome today, and we're going to build out a system for our friend Danielle in Indiana. So, Paul Areno, what's up? Can you sing the parts list?
I cannot. I'm still recovering a little bit from that con bug, so I'm a little congested today. But yeah, so Danielle has configured a Horus off of our website. This is the CLX Horus Ultimate Gaming. So starting off for our processor, we've got an AMD Ryzen 9 7900X. To cool that, we've got a CLX Quench 240 AIO in black. For our motherboard, we've got a MSI B650-P Wi-Fi. This is a DDR4 or DDR5 motherboard. So our sticks of RAM that we're going to be using, we have 2 sticks of Giel, 16 gigabyte DDR5, 5600 speed in RGB. You can see them down there in the middle. For our storage, we have a 1 terabyte MP33 Pro NVMe M.2 drive. For our video card, we've got an Asus Radeon RX 7600 XT. This is with the dual cooler on it, the 2-fan. Really like this cooler. I like the aesthetics of it. It's got some clear windows at the top. For our case, we've got the 011 Dynamic Evo in white, and for our case fans, we have 7 of our newer Game DSA OLED M3s. So these are the more subtle RGB fans. They do have a RGB ring in the middle of them, but if you're not huge on the rainbow puke, this is a really good build to give you a bunch of color options.
Did you say the rainbow puke?
Yep.
Got it. All right.
And lastly, for our power supply, we've got the Game DS 850 watt Helios P2 80 plus gold non-modular.
Good Lord. Big shout out to Aesthetic Necro over there on the Twitter side. Oh, we've got a bunch of people here on the green side as we get things unpackaged. We definitely had someone to say moo. So my response is, do you know what the cows in Australia say? They don't say moo. They say moo. The Australian joke. Never mind. Waldo the Goat will come in. Good to have you here. We got Jay Zrosky up in the house. Imagine. Maddie. What up? Skits? Skits is like, dude, stop doing this. Over on the purple side, keep your fingers crossed over the Yokai Maiden. Hi, how are we? I see Temperance is in the house. We've got Crazy Pokemon Fan 12. Well, I hope that's not too crazy because, you know. ASVP Wolfie, which is definitely Aliens versus Predator. So, obviously, you love that movie. If not, then you should really use that as a go-to for branding because I think it would be freaking awesome. Love it. Deadzilla's in the house. We got Trigger Thriller Gamer. Yeah. We got Pixler over here on the red side. And Darth Jr., which, as you might know, is Darth Vader's younger brother or son. That's not Luke Skywalker. That's Darth Jr. In a comedic world, that's basically the weird little R2-D2 wannabe in the Death Star. Popping over to the blue side, on the Facebook side, we've got Ralph Nuevo. Hello. And Devin Garrett's in the house on our TikTok side. Hello. We've got a couple people over on the TikToks talking. Lalone. There we go. Your luck is bad. Listen, so's my hairline, and I'm still working with it as a point of humor for everything else. So the first thing we're going to talk about is we're going to talk about our motherboard today. This is an MSI Pro B650p Wi-Fi. It is an ATX motherboard. It's got some cool features. It also comes with some really good connectivity. Let's walk through that real fast. At the very top, we've got our HDMI and DisplayPort, which is super fun. Obviously, a little bitty button at the top, and that is going to be our flash BIOS button down below there, which is interesting because some motherboards actually position the Ethernet differently, but they've got a very specific line out for this. You've got your 2.5 gig LAN port, and then down below there is one or two of the 4 USB 3 Gen 2 ports. Those are 10 gigs. And of course, we've got our Gen 2 by 2. That's the USB-C port. That means 10 gigs up, 10 gigs down. Below that is our 3.2 Gen 1s. These are all 5 gig ports for data transfer. Your Wi-Fi connectors, and then a full array of sound all the way around the board. Now, obviously, this doesn't come with an installed I/O shield, so we're going to talk about installing these pop-out I/O shields in just a bit actually, you know what, let's talk about it right now. So, Zach, walk us through what's the best thing to do once you pull this out of the packaging. How do you prep this to make sure you don't end up cutting yourself, your friends, or your pets?
So, ideally, when we get an I/O shield that is not attached to our motherboard, it will have a couple of tabs that are up. This one has it on our LAN port and on our USB port. So we just want to fold those back against the shield. That will help prevent from when we go to install our motherboard into the case that those won't accidentally go into those ports.
And Dadzilla is correct. The other name for this, instead of just I/O shield, is also known as human cheese grater.
Oh, yeah.
Because that's how it rolls. Now, the next thing we've got to do is we've got to figure out how we're going to power this system. So we're going to power this system with a really cool processor. And this is obviously one of the top of the lines. It is the AMD Ryzen 9 7900X3D. Now, anybody who saw or was there live in when we were over at the show in Vegas, We did an X3D build. It was really, really cool. AMD loved it. We loved it. But Paul really has it down. Paul, talk to me about this processor.
Yeah, starting out, this is a 12-core, 24-thread processor. It does have a base speed of 4.7, and it will boost up to 5.6. So a blazing fast processor with a ton of cores, ton of threads. Really solid for gaming. This is actually the non-3D version, but we can talk about the 3D version. So you might have seen 3D on the end of the nomenclature for AMD processors. And that is referring to the cache, which is the little amount of memory that's stored actually on that CPU die. And so that 3D technology is a way that they can vertically stack that, which gives you a larger surface area so you can fit more of that cache on there, which leads to better performance.
Got it. Yep, definitely selected the wrong one when I was coming up with things. That is a 700X, straight up X. Still a beast of a
badass
performance. Yep. It's incredible at what it does. Now, we've obviously got our fixins going on in the back, from the retention rings to our mounting ring, and that is going to be for our cooling solution. This, of course, is our CLX Quench 240 closed liquid cooler. Now, Paul, I often say we've got a 360, we've got other things. What does that number mean?
Yes, so that number, this being a 240, that refers to the actual size of the radiator here. So those names are typically referred to the amount of fans that you can fit on here, or the size. So this can fit two 120 millimeter fans. That's why it's referred to as a 240. Really solid setup for an AIO here. Anything 240 or higher is going to perform, or is going to cool these higher performing processors really well.
Nice. All right, now we've got Zach popping everything in here. Zach, question: when you're securing down an AIO, what are some really good practices for those people who might be building their own system?
So we don't want to go in a circle. We want to bounce around. That will apply equal pressure to the system compared to applying pressure directly onto one side.
It's kind of like if you just drop a piece of bread onto your peanut butter and jelly, flat down, and just arrange it, versus if you just do it corner to corner, and then all of a sudden you've got peanut butter and jelly squishing out those top two sides. That's the first time I've used that, and maybe the last time I used that analogy. But as you can see, this is what it said. It's kind of like if you're changing a tire. You know how lug nuts work? Who knows how lug nuts work? Mm-hmm. You'd never want to go in a circle. You do it in the star pattern.
Make your daddy proud.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So long as your tire isn't upside down. Now, yeah, right, there we go. Had to make that joke for some reason. All right, we're getting that all locked in there. Now, you will see Zach playing with a little cable that's going underneath around that device. Zach, what is that? Why is it important to pop that in, and some things to take into mind when anybody on our channel is actually building things?
So when you wrap your cable underneath, it's done to make look very pretty. As we can see, our cable comes off right here, but all we really see is just this little J right there. So we're hiding the cable underneath this cap, but we don't want to pull it super snug because that will cause the cable to be in a spot that we don't want it to be. We want it to be loosey-goosey, but still hidden underneath there.
Gotcha. By the way, Uniform Rogue up there over on the purple side mentioned that got a CLX PC built last month and has been working amazing. That is excellent to hear. We're super excited, just as we are excited about the RAM we're about to stuff in this thing. And this is two 16-gig sticks of GEAL DDR5 5600. Now, this is a pretty fast RAM. GEAL's also a really great company. We're going to pop those into the 2 and 4 slots. Who knows how many slots there are and why. Actually, you know what? This isn't a live audience, so screw it. Here we go. Paul, why is it you want to use 2 and 4 first?
Yeah, so most motherboards with 4 slots are going to use slots 2 and 4. If you ever have any questions about that, you can look at the motherboard manual. If you don't have the paper copy, you can just go to your motherboard manufacturer's website and find it there. Basically, the CPU is going to look at those 2 slots first, which is why we want to use them. I like going with the 2 sticks and leaving a couple open because it does allow you to upgrade further. That being said, if we had the same capacity but across 4 sticks, so 4 8-gig sticks instead of 2 16-gig sticks, if you ran like a test on how fast your system was performing, it would go a little bit faster with 4 sticks instead of 2, even at the same capacity. However, I don't notice a difference when gaming, so I like to leave those 2 slots open to upgrade later.
There we go. Firecracker also mentioned had a GPU driver issue and I had to call customer support when I first turned it on. So I just want to give a shout out to Ash for quickly fixing that issue. And Ash deserves a raise. Heck yeah, that's awesome. Thank you to listen. Our customer service is fantastic. Bar none, it is the best in the industry. Now, speaking of things that are good in the industry, let's talk about heat sinks and what is laying next to our friend, because we're about to put an operating system up in here, and that is going to be our 1 terabyte MSI Spatium M450 M.2. Now it's going to sit right there. And then Zach, what are you putting on top of it?
So this is a heat shield from the motherboard. Some M.2s come with them, and some motherboards come with them.
Optimum Prima, welcome in. Mr. Brandt, hello. Good to see you. Welcome in.
What up, Roulette Nova? How's it going?
Yeah.
Nova's in the house. Nova, we got to meet Nova live on the show floor there in Vegas. She and her dad was super fun.
And
super fun.
Yeah, Nova. So it does look at those 2 slots, but let's say we had them the other 2. It should work. It's just going to perform better if we have them in those 2 and 4. So just to be a little bit more clear on that.
And the way you can remember that is 2468. Who do we appreciate? RAM.
That's right.
I don't know if that works, but we're going to go with it now. Reclaiming the industry need for things. All right. Now, obviously, we're getting some fans under our 240. This refers to the fact there's only 2 out of the 3 fans that are 120 millimeters each. Not sure why I'm yawning. So there's going to be extra space, but while we're doing this, I want to take a look while he's screwing those things in. Paul, can you move that a little bit forward just for me for a second?
The case? Mm-hmm.
Yep. Now, we've got some holes and some cages in this case. Let's talk about it. This is our 011 Horus. This is an 011 Dynamic Evo mid-tier build. Paul, walk us through what goes where.
Yes, this is the smaller version of the 011 that's still an ATX, can fit a full-size motherboard. So back here you can see this cage. This is for any extra drive, so you can fit a 2.5-inch or 3.5-inch drive in this. There is room for 2, so a lot of extra room for storage. Obviously you can see these are our case cables that are right here. This is where we're going to do cable management, so those will get undone when Zach plugs them in, but this is a nice middle channel for our cable management. Down here in this empty space, this is where our power supply is going to sit. You can see the hole right here that I'm putting my hand in. It'll sit kind of on this rest right here. There's a nice little rubber tab to prevent any vibration, and our power supply, when it's in, is going to be getting air in from what you're seeing, and it's going to shoot it out the back. So since it's in the back of the case, any of the heat that power supply generates is not going to come into the main body of the case.
And for those, and just so that you two understand what happened, Optima Prima said chat's a little dry on here on Kick, and I said moist. Waldo came in with wet. Prime came in with hydrated. I walked back in with swimming. And I feel like dunking, splashing, surfing could also be put in there. Let my people lurk. There we go. Horton, here's a what? There we go. Wow, Dadzilla. I'm going to go ahead and say that just that you feel guilty. Dadzilla says, just like this case, I also shoot my air out the back. Damn. Super Sanu. Welcome. Let's get you those specs real quick. I'll share this with you for a hot second. Boop. And there we go. So if you'd like to see more about that, there it is. Did I hear Damon? I couldn't help but laugh. Listen, that's what we do here. That's what we do. Now,
I don't think we'll need
we're getting this in there because... Okay, so you said a word that some people might not actually understand what it means. So what he said was anti-sag. Now, anti-sag brackets sometimes come with the graphics card, sometimes come with the cases, sometimes they come in both. But the key is understanding how or why to use them. Paul, what is that like? What's that process?
Yeah, so the anti-sag bracket is what we use on larger video cards, and that's because these larger cards, they only get support on one side of the chassis, right here where my hand is at. And so them being so big and long, it can cause the GPU to sag down, which can cause damage to the card and your motherboard. Now this card right here, the 7600 XT, this is a smaller card, so we shouldn't need an anti-sag bracket on this. It's probably not even long enough to use the one that comes with the case. So we won't need it for this build. But it is good to have if you have a larger card.
Nice. By the way, Devin Garrett's in the house over on the TikTok side. So is Thunderpants. We've got Alan. Hello, what's up? Dude. Electronics Nerds has just built a PC with the Leon Lee 011 dynamic mini case. There you go.
Nice.
Like I have an 011 XL. I love them. They're great cases. Absolutely great cases. Having a small build is so appealing to you. Yokai Maiden, I'm going to be honest, like our director of marketing, George, he has got a very compact little ITX build that is insanely powerful. It's ridiculous what this thing can do. But we've actually got the ability for you to build as large or as small as you want in our system, which is really cool when you think about it. So, John Juken says, if the winner is not watching the stream, are you going to pick another winner? No. So once we pick a winner, the winner's gonna have 24 hours. They'll get an email. They have 24 hours to respond, and then if that doesn't happen, we'll re-roll at that point. And that is a decision that's made far above my pay grade, so don't ask me. All right, there we go. Not gonna lie, I can totally imagine winning a PC would make me clear room on my desk. I won't lie when I say it's a little bit of a mess. Story of my life, title of my bedroom theme song. I need to do laundry so bad right now.
What up,
Hashim? Welcome in. MSI no longer makes AMD cards as they apparently... What? That is... I don't know that is accurate. Paul, do you want to answer that question?
I would think that they still do now. That being said, I guess I'd have to check on that. That would be news to me if they stopped doing that.
Yeah. The giveaway is super cute. I agree, Alone Clover. I think it's fantastic. It's wonderful. Yeah, Alan agrees. The 011s are wonderful cases. I love them. Again, the XL, I've got the hot swap bays and things, and that thing is just super cool constantly. I actually finally got my GPU up to 60 degrees, which was hilarious. I know, right? I didn't expect it, but yeah, it definitely got up there. I was playing around with the new update for Dying Light 2 in 4K, and it started really going hard. I was like, alrighty. I've been trying to push my GPU to see if it's going to actually get hot at some point. It doesn't. What game was running? Yeah, it was running Dying Light 2 at 4K Ultra. Yeah. We'll be able to purchase the Sakura Horus PC at some time because I fell in love with it. Yo, my God, it's literally on the website. Abso-freaking-lutely. If you look under I believe the Sakura is available on a bunch of different models.
Yeah, it is. So if you like the NV5, that will be available. But we do offer it on a few different of our cases as well.
Yeah, it's a paint job, so you don't have to be necessarily stuck with one case. But yes, it's a good thing. What graphics card is going in this one? We're going to be punching in here a Radeon RX 7600 XT. It's going to be cool. So Electronics Nerd says, absolutely fantastic. Running an ASRock B650 Steel Legend motherboard, 32 gigs of DDR5 6000 RAM. We've got a Ryzen 7 7800X3D. Nice, dude. And an EVGA RTX 3080 Ti Ultra. Ooh,
Nice.
buddy. And 3 Samsung 990 Pros.
So beast
I'm just
of a
going to
rig
touch
right
my
there.
monitor because I'm going to be honest, that's hot. Okay, there we go. Not sure where that came from. I'm a designer for a newly formed company. My boss got a big RGB case for PC but forgot to include a GPU. Well,
Whoops.
if your boss had designed it from CLX, we'd have made sure that happened. Oh, Alone? You're absolutely correct. Alone Clover says, every time I hear DDR, I think of Dance Dance Revolution. Man, we saw some great Dance Dance Revolution machines down in Vegas. That was hilarious. And now, Dance Dance Revolution is probably the most athletic game I've ever played in my life. It is not easy. It is very, very rhythm-based. It's awesome.
I think we saw someone playing it on, like, he was using both setups, right? Yeah, it was wild. Like, both pads, one person.
Yeah, that kid was unique. Then there was the music game that I've forgotten the name of.
I don't remember what that one was, but that was wild.
Oh my gosh, we
People
saw
playing
kids
on their on their touch pads, doing that.
just going ham. It was they were so fast at what they were doing, and all I could think of was, wow, this is why I suck at first-person shooters. I'm the guy who ends up accidentally looking across the way and going, oh, I see a person. Snapshot. Oh, wait, they were on my team. Got it. Oopsie. Yeah. You're sad that they took out the arcade with DDR at my local mall. Used to spend a lot of time there. Oh, Tom, yeah, no. I miss the fact that there used to be, arcades in malls. Some malls don't even have it. I love the Guitar Hero one is the best game of all time. All right, there we go. Those purple CLX pullovers are fire. Yes, they are. I love mine.
Excuse me.
I dig it a lot.
That was crazy.
Yeah, I've worn this out a couple times and gotten nothing but compliments on it. So, but yeah, you work up a sweat like crazy. Yes, DDR, Dance Dance Revolution is wild. But it's also like I used to work out using my Kinect because I had Kinect Sports for the Xbox 360. Loved Kinect Sports. It's useless now, but loved it at the time. Fun stuff. Uniform Rogue. I did the Sets G500A matte white with a Ryzen 7 7800X3D and a Radeon RX 7900 GRE. Ooh.
Nice.
That sounds powerful. The Geek Supreme. Did they already say who won? No. Well, I mean, I have said that it is a person. It's a human.
That is
I'm going to give you more
confirmed.
hints later on. As if whether they're breathing-ish, possibly, potentially. But no, we're going to get that. We'll get to that a little bit later. Now, right now, the one thing that Zach is doing that's interesting is because we've got a 240 radiator. So having a 240 radiator means you've got a 360 millimeter size in that top bracket. So Zach's putting on one other fan aside from the 2 fans that are going to be going across and through the radiator. So Paul, does this extra fan here, the third one, actually help with dissipation of heat for the radiator since it's right next to it and it's helping with that airflow?
So its main purpose is just going to be helping get the heat from the inside of the case out. It won't have much effect on the radiator.
Oh my lord. Tom Udall says, human winner. That's a shame as I'm a meat popsicle.
Aren't we all?
Lelu Dallas multipass. That's all I'm saying. Is the same Horus giveaway from Gleam that is in the description? I believe so, yeah. That should be. Should be the case, my friend. Oops, there we go. Ralph Noiba is hoping to win the giveaway. Listen, I'm hoping somebody who's been in our chats regularly wins the giveaway. I'm hoping somebody who's here today wins the giveaway because that will be fun. You're tempting me to bust out my Xbox 360 and hopefully find the Kinect so that I can play the games again. Listen, I let my parents borrow my 360 because it's, they get bored. And I still have all of my Kinect stuff because I know at some point, I'm gonna want it. Yeah. And I want to say we had Connect for Xbox One X, right? Or was it just 360?
I'm not
I
sure.
feel like there was an adapter we could have used. It doesn't matter. And yeah, the Connect was way ahead of its time. Now, what would be really great is if we could get that. Well, I think actually there's things that can do it, but imagine getting those type of camera arrays for our PCs. Could be a thing. Could be a thing.
I still got my Halo 3 Edition 360 in my house.
Jealous.
It's red ringed, but you know.
Jealous.
Okay, you know
It's
what
a
that
good
is?
display
Is it
piece.
three?
Yeah.
Is it 3 or 4? 3 or 4?
Halo 3.
No. Is it how many parts of the ring are red?
Oh, I don't know. I haven't used it. It red
Okay,
ringed on me.
So
like,
I'm gonna
you know.
if it's the Halo 3 version, if it's the Halo 3 version, you probably have a 3-part ring, and I only say this from having worked at Xbox. What you are probably going to need to do is, if you can pull it apart safely without destroying anything, what you need to do is clean off the GPU and put new thermal paste on it. Honestly, the red rings 99% of the time were caused because of degraded thermal paste.
That's right.
That's what it was.
Yeah.
Literally what it was. I know because I had to fix mine doing that. And I'm like, and it worked fine. I did it on my original Xbox as well. It was super fun.
360.
Oh
was a
my
great
goodness.
console.
All right. Yeah, it was.
With, like the blades.
Controller.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah. You know, the first game that I ever played on the actual original Xbox was a game called Black. And it was really a stealth game. And you had very limited ammunition. You had to sneak around and see things. My goodness, that thing just freaked me out. It was great. I have my original Halo Xbox, Halo 3 Xbox 360, Star Wars Connect R2D2 Slim. Ooh, lucky ducky.
Nice.
I missed out on the Reach one. I have the Reach one. That is my 360. Is the Reach one which was the first one with the HDMI in the back.
You remember the Gears of War one? I like that one.
Yeah.
Oh God, yeah, that one was super fun.
Here's
Super
what was
fun.
dope.
Cliffy B, we miss you in the gaming community.
Yep. And what you got any? Well, what? I don't know what that word is. Optimus Prime. Optimum Prima. There we go. Yeah, the box was awesome. Game Black. I know. I want that. Actually, you know what? Dang it! I'm now gonna pull up. Hold on.
Find it on eBay.
No, I'm just gonna see if I can find it on Steam.
Oh, there you go. I remember on like
Absolutely not.
shucks.
Not here.
I think on original Xbox, the game
but
I
I-
played the most other than Halo was like Elder Scrolls 3 Morrowind. And the load
wow.
screens took so long on it, but it was such a good game.
I would have been Need for Speed Underground.
Oh yeah, Need for Speed Underground.
Oh, Need for Speed
Underground
Hot
2.
Pursuit
Ooh,
was my first Need for Speed game, and I loved
yeah,
it.
those were great.
Okay, so
Far Cry.
Oh,
NBA
you're-
Street. Did you ever play
All right.
NBA Street? Oh, that was fun. That was a fun one.
I can't do sports
for
games.
anybody,
I turn
You
into
can't?
a like second grader. I just chase the ball.
Just going for
I
it.
just,
Yeah.
what am I doing? I'm just chasing the ball. And then when it's like, here, do this play, I don't know what I'm looking
Yeah.
at. So, like, it's just like, okay,
Dang.
not good.
so the game Black, which by the way, for anybody who wants to know, because now I've looked it up because I haven't played the game forever. It was released on the PlayStation 2 and the original Xbox, but it has never been released apparently on PC.
Oh.
Sad panda. Sad panda. Well, at least we know it. But yeah, it was one of the first games to use the slow motion feature. You know, where you're like, and you can help aim the bullet or really take a moment to just react quickly, which was really cool. Loved that video game. It was awesome. Morrowind. Yeah, Morrowind was another great one.
Oh, yeah. Got that glass armor. Glass weapons.
You're wondering how many people are watching from Kick. Well, that's an excellent point. Now, one thing we don't want to pull out of the box up front because we've got to be able to hook up all of our cables and things is our power supply. Now, for our power supply, we've got a really good one today. It is going to be an 850 watt GameDS Helios P2 80 plus gold. Paul, tell me a little bit about this power supply.
All right, so like you said, it is a 850 watt 80 plus gold Helios from GameDS. This is a non-modular power supply, so all the cables are pre-soldered in. So we'll pull it out like this. Get rid of this packaging, and then we'll start getting it opened. So with non-modular,
Nice.
all of our cables are pre-soldered in, so you can see them right here coming straight out of the power supply. So what we're going to do is get these cables all straightened out, and I try to untangle them a little bit. A lot of times they come from the factory kind of tangled up, so I like to get them as straight as I can. That way when Zach's getting everything put into place, it's a little bit easier for him, a little bit neater.
Nice. Hello. Okay, now we're getting that in there. Now, without a need for the extra cables, what are the other two types of power supplies? So I know that there's not just non-modular.
Right, so we've got non-modular, like what this is, then we have semi-modular and modular. So a modular is where none of these cables are pre-soldered in. On the part where the cables come out, you would see a bunch of ports for you to plug your cables in. The cables usually come in a bag that's extra, and you just plug in the cables that you need for your build, and then you've got extras if you ever upgrade or need them later. And then a semi-modular is kind of a mix of both worlds. So some cables will be pre-soldered in, typically your motherboard 24-pin, an 8-pin for your CPU, and a 6+2 for a video card. And then there's some ports on here to add in the extras that you need.
Nice. I dig it a lot. Now, with the extra cables, obviously you're not going to need them. There's no need to remove them. Please don't cut your cables off. But you do want to know that, you know, sometimes they can be wrapped up, which means that if you are, there we go. If you're in need of adding more things to your system, you can always just unbundle them as necessary. Now, there we go. So, Zach, what are some things to consider when using a non-modular power supply and how you're going to wire things or at least set things up?
So I like to, as I'm building, I don't know necessarily what the customer might have at home. So when I tie up like excess cables like that, I like having them individual instead of all bundled up together, because it's a whole lot easier to, oh hey, I just want to plug in a bigger graphics card, all I need is one more VGA cable. It's a lot nicer to have just that one cable all off on its own than wrapped up in all of the extra cables.
There you go. There you go. Now, all these lurkers, I can see that. Lurkers assemble! Listen, lurkers are fun. People have us on at work, in the background, as a form of entertainment while they're dealing with customer service people. You know. Hello, Berengot. Welcome. One thing I would love to talk about, just because I heard rumors, and I don't think they're true, but I hate getting my hopes up when I need to, but it is that when you hear about an update on a game franchise continuation, and I heard that there is talks from over, I believe at EA, that about Battlefield Bad Company 3.
Oh.
What?
Like, if that is even a thing,
Don't
and
you
I
put
said,
that
yeah,
good
listen,
juju
you
out
realize-
there for nothing
like,
to happen.
Oh, dude, I'm just throwing it like, yeah. True until proven otherwise. Listen, there's a lot of projects on them. I'm sure that they've got, but I laughed when I heard that because one thing that I think I've played it actually since I've returned to Twitch from Mixer. I think I've played it once. If not, I knew I did it on Mixer. I went back through and played the second one on stream, which was really cool. I loved Battlefield Bad Company games, and Battlefield Bad Company's 2 multiplayer was definitely incredible. Definitely incredible. I loved it. Bad Company is the best. I agree, Sarge. I fully agree. Yeah. The PC already looks sick. Whoever gets it is a lucky gal or guy. Yeah, this is there. Yeah, this is for our friend Danielle in Indiana. Loving it. Love it so much. Zach, are you wearing the gloves to counter the static?
For good looks.
Yeah, he just likes to he doesn't like leaving his fingerprints on things because we were definitely joking one point about like, hey, you ever, never mind. Actually, this is a really funny story that I don't know I can share on stream. But I had an idea actually for a movie, and now I'm going to say it on stream, which locks it in and documents it. My idea for a movie was to create a murder mystery, right? Create a murder mystery back when everybody used Redbox all the time. Okay. Anybody else notice that when you get discs from Redbox and you pull them out, there's fingerprints all over them. So my thought process was, I meticulously cleaned my discs before I put them back in and shoved them back into the Redbox. So my thought process is, imagine if somebody were to go just trap, like your killer is going to go and travel and get Redbox things from different cities and just pull fingerprints and thumbprints off of the disc and plant them at crime scenes.
You went a lot different than the way I thought you were going to go. So yes.
Oh no, I'm just saying, like, because then you got to try and figure out, hey, wait, what?
Why does the index finger and the middle finger belong to a different person?
Oh my gosh! Right now, there's 5 people at one crime scene.
On one hand, each print
that
is
is all
a different
one hand.
The twists never stop. Yeah.
That is hilarious. You can't plant fingerprints without leaving chemical residue. Hashim, I am not sure that I want to know how you know that, but I am impressed that you know that. Okay, now, I will say, that I may, I'm getting information. Ooh, we're about to find out the winner, people. But first, we're going to unpackage this incredible graphics card. This is a Radeon RX 7600 XT. It is a dual fan by our friends at Asus. Yes.
I was waiting for the Redbox transition, DJ. I was trying to set you
actually,
up
there we go. That would have been so much better. Darth Genius says Bad Company games were probably my favorite for Battlefield. I agree. I fully agree. And now that you said that, I kind of want to. I wish there was a multiplayer. I wish you could play it with your friends, like as a co-op in the campaign. That would have been amazing.
That'll be in the new one.
Sad panda. All right, now let's take a look at this this graphics card here. Walk me through, how does this thing feel? How big is it? And what do we know about this chunky little monkey?
Yeah, this is the Radeon RX 7600 XT. Now this is a nice card right here. It's not too heavy. Definitely won't need an anti-sag bracket for this. Not too long, so it's going to fit in pretty much every chassis you need. Technically, it's a 2-slotter. I'd say it's a little bit bigger than that. We've got 3 display ports and 1 HDMI for our output here. I'll go ahead and get all the plastic off. That way we can get a better look at it.
There you go. This is a Battlestar Galactica game? Shut up. Seriously? Hang on. Oh my gosh. Please tell me. Now, I heard there was a Battlestar Galactica new game coming out based on the 2004 series. Oh my god, look at that backplate, is gorgeous. Okay. Oh my gosh. It's called Battlestar Galactica Deadlock. And it's on Steam? No way.
There you go.
Wait, and buy all of the complete bundle for $112.
Done and
Well,
done.
that may not be a thing that I can afford today, but it's definitely a thing I'm going to be getting. I'm going to be saving up.
It's on your Christmas list.
Wow. Now, as we look at our plasticated card that is covered in all sorts of stickers, just enough to give Paul reason to not cut his fingernails.
Yep.
Kidding. It's like I need at least one to pick
Freshly
through the
trimmed.
damn
Look at me.
plastic.
Oh, yeah.
I know, right? I hate that one. Of course, it always happens right after I've clipped my fingernails.
When you
All of a
need
sudden,
them.
there's like 8 different things that I need them for, and I'm thinking, what is happening? All right, taking a look at this. This is our 2 card. Now, this is an 8-pin. It's a 4. That is considered an 8-pin, right?
Yep.
4x4.
Single 8-pin. This is a 6
4
plus
by 2.
2. 6 plus 2.
6 plus.
right here.
So, what's the difference between an 8-pin versus a 6 plus 2 pin?
So a 6 plus 2 is going to be an 8-pin for your video card, and that is different than the 4 plus 4 8-pin for your CPU. They are pinned differently, so they provide power a little bit differently. You don't want to get those mixed up, but if I try to plug in a 4 plus 4 CPU power to this video card, it wouldn't plug in. So you can see these just look like squares to you, but if you look really close, some of them are kind of rounded at the top or the bottom, so they look like little houses almost, and that way you can't put the wrong connector in it.
There we go.
Some nice
There we go.
dummy proofing there.
Boom, 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 boom. Boom. Okay. So now that we've got that out, we're going to take go ahead and get it. Now, you mentioned that this is a shorter card, so we may not actually need our anti-sag device.
Yeah, we will not need an anti-sag device for this.
Wow, I'm going to be very, very honest. I am confused why they're still charging $112 for the full game. But I'm also not really irritated by it.
Maybe it'll be like 75% off on summer sale or something.
Okay, so there is...
Let's do that.
This follows the show. This is wild. This is wild. Oh my gosh! I gotta add this to my. Hey, I want this list. So I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna do the whole thing, and that'll be that. That'll play through forever. I get a 10% discount. There we go.
Nice.
Add to my wish list. Dang. Yeah. Don't say can't. Depends on the size of your hammer. I mean, to be fair. All right. To be fair, once again,
Size of
still
your hammer
impressed.
doesn't
Zach
matter.
let me
It's
install a
how you
graphics
swing
card. Jesus. Okay. Now, as he's screwing that thing in, we got a few other things to connect, but I do want to walk us through a process that we call announcing a winner. Who wants to know the winner?
I do.
Anybody? Anybody want to know a winner?
Godzilla's there. He gets it.
Oh, so.
Alrighty. Your winner has been here in the community for a while, has definitely been part of multiple streams, including on my side as well.
Oh.
And I'm so excited to announce that our winner is St. George the Great.
Nice.
St. George, if you're here, dun, 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 I want to do the but I didn't want to get a DMCA for you guys. It is St. George the Great here on Twitch. You can find them also on the Twitterverse. But congratulations, St. George the Great won that beautiful PC, and we are very excited to get that to them. He's got 24 hours to respond and recognize, I won, or else Nicole is rolling the dice again. Now, that being said, we've got a whole new giveaway coming up next week. I'm not going to talk any more about it because it's a surprise. You're going to like it. I'm not sure why I just went awkward there, but I'm really good at it. There we go. Sailor Moon Knight. Yes! I know. I'm so excited. Okay. So, with that being said, we just announced it, Queso Goblin. St. George. The Great. Do this. And I'll enter. There we go. And I don't know, I have to talk myself through it, but. Pin. Gosh darn it. There we go. Yes, pin it. Pin it, so people will win it. There we go. St. George the Great. Apparently I can't pin.
Maybe they live in Utah.
But there we go. Very excited for them. Good stuff. Yeah, congratulations. And again, stay tuned. We got more things coming up next week that you're just going to flip over. It's going to be great. We are making sure that May the PC be with you. That's hilarious. The PC was so pretty. It's still pretty, yeah. DJ Red PDX. The red is for YouTuber. Ay. You know, I don't know that I look great. Everybody likes me in red. I don't like me in red. I always feel like I look blushed and awkwardly colored. You know? I just blotchy. It also could be that if I'm wearing red, I'm usually at a zoo. Gets more attention from the animals. Oh my goodness. A little bit jelly. Here we go. Now, as Zach is continuing to finish up, you'll notice that there is this little box up there with a triangle on it, and that is what we call our lighting control device. Paul, what is that? How does it work?
Yeah, so that is our fan controller box. So all of our fans are plugged into that. And what that does is allow all the fans to be synced up, and then we can control it with a remote if we want to. That comes with that. And then in some cases you control it with a button on the case. So that allows you to sync up your lights. You can change them to any color you want. There's a whole bunch of different programming you can run them through. You can have lights dance through all of them, all around the case. A whole bunch of stuff you can do there. Now we do have 7 fans in this build, so all of them are plugged into that. Those fan controllers can hold 8 each. If you've watched the show before where we've done like a 10 fan or more build, you can daisy chain those controllers together, so you can have a lot more than 8 fans all connected.
Yes. All right, we're getting all that finally done. The final things are all cut up, and by that I mean the zip ties. Zip ties. Another thing that if you cut it straight off, it can actually also cause injury. All I was thinking of for a second was just the cut tips of all of the zip ties, like in a giant bathtub or something, just because it would hurt. And then I thought, oh, I remember watching Saw, and there was that YouTube Saw video. This is where my brain goes, people. This is why I look confused 90% of the time. Who remembers the YouTube shorts where, because I know Jason and I were talking about this, it's hilarious, where Jigsaw, like having Jigsaw as a roommate, and he's just like, your house keys are sitting across the room on the counter, but you have to make it through a maze of mouse traps. It just rough, ridiculously dumb stuff, and it's hilarious. I don't know why that is what came to mind. Sometimes I have issues. Okay. By the way, Patrick Reese mentioned a question a little bit ago. Is it possible to find any height 70 touches, or are they out? I don't believe we've ever carried.
Yeah, height. We have not carried those cases, so I wouldn't be able to tell you what stock is like for that.
Yeah. Eric Flowers, is he building the PC giveaway? No, actually, we did that earlier in the month. Or actually, we did this last month, because I just remembered early in the month is only last week.
Oh, right.
Alrighty, we're getting so close to the finish.
Right there.
You know what else is super clean? And I want to talk about this. Is our website. So let's talk about how you can get your hands on one of the best concepts in PC building ever has existed. This is clxgaming.com. At clxgaming.com, we try and make it as awesome and easy and just risk-free. For building your own PC, we've got a little bit of everything. And when I say that, we've got Intels, we've got AMDs, we have Radeon, we have NVIDIA, we've got RAM from a bunch of different people, all the way up to DDR5 6000, which is super fast. And we have a foolproof system to make sure that it doesn't fall out of what we consider compatibility. So, for example, notice how that thing's the yellow button up top says, I'm pointing at my screen as if you can see it, says solve conflict. Well, you take a look at that motherboard is designed for DDR4. So, the system's going to say, look, you can either choose a DDR4 motherboard to go with your DDR4 RAM, or you can go with a DDR5 motherboard to go with DDR5 RAM. But you got to do both. Once you solve the problem, that little yellow button turns back to green. And that is not the only thing you can do here. If you want to overclock your GPU and your CPU, you can do one, the other, or both. You can get upgraded thermal paste, do an open loop, do a closed loop. We do both of them. If you want to change out your hard drives, add another hard drive, add some more fans, we've got that too. Sound cards, we've even got capture cards for streaming. In fact, we also carry a bunch of streaming accessories, like, for example, our friends at Beacon. We've got a Beacon Mix Create, a Beacon mic, or the Mix Create package, which is one of each, and they're really cool. Personally, I love them. We've got chairs, USBs, routers, monitors, mics, headsets, controllers, speakers. It is a one-stop shopping center for all your needs, and I know that sounds really complicated. So, I'm going to go ahead and jump to something a little bit easier, because some people are like, I don't know, that sounds like a lot of effort. Well, we've also got our ready-to-ship models, and that means we've already gotten them designed. They come in 4 different groups. Now, there is entry-level, mid-range, high-performance, and ultra-high-performance. You can take a look at how those are built out, how they work, and more importantly, which one may fit your needs the best. So, for all of your future gaming needs, PC needs, or otherwise, head on over to clxgaming.com and let us help you get ready for your future. Ta-da! I did a thing. And look, while I was doing that, they put all the panels on the sides. Nice. Okay. St. George the Great is there! Sorry, didn't mean to yell at everybody. Welcome in, St. George the Great!
Hello.
I was over doing my thing, didn't even see it. I seem to have been a moment late, but thank you. You are the winner, my friend, of the giveaway for April. You have got an incredible prize coming to you, so keep an eye on your email. It is a pleasure seeing you in chat again. It's also awesome as we see people who are regularly in our chats and in our shows win these things. It's so much fun for me. I love it. So congratulations, and we will definitely be in touch ASAP. Once again, everybody give a round of applause. It is St. George the Great who's won. We are very happy for you, sir. Very, very happy. It's going to be awesome. Now, with that being said, you know what? Oh, yeah, St. George the Great. Do you want it signed? The boys will sign it. It's an excellent question. Thank you very much, sir. Yes, if you can. Yes, sweet. They're going to sign it. They will definitely sign it. That's awesome. All right. Now, before we light this puppy up, the one thing that I wanted to point out is that I made a little comment at the very end about, like, hey, listen, our RTS machines are already tested, sitting at home and ready to go. So what is going to happen with Danielle's computer now that we finish building it?
So now that we're done building it, once we power it on, we're going to take it to our testing and integration department. And so the first thing we do there is get into the BIOS of the machine. We'll make sure our RAM speed is set correctly, all of our storage devices are showing up, and maybe mess around with a couple other settings in the BIOS depending on the build. After that's all been set, we load the operating system. If you picked any games on our website, that's where we would load those as well. If you didn't pick any games or anything like that, you just get a fresh install of your operating system. We don't put any bloatware on these machines. You're not going to get a bunch of different copies of an antivirus you don't want, just a fresh install of your operating system. And then once everything's been installed, we'll put the system through a 12-hour burn-in or a stress test. We've got a few different benchmarking softwares that we use for that, but that allows us to make sure that everything is working and stable, because sometimes a component inside of here will turn on, you'll get video and everything, but once you start gaming, it starts to fail. And so that allows us to check that, make sure everything's stable, and if anything goes wrong, we can fix it here, and that way you get a stable machine.
Before we power it on, there is one question I do want to address just because it's a really good question and I think it's very valid. So CR over on the red side mentioned any issues with running two 16 gigs of RAM and then adding two more 8 gig sticks of RAM. Both are G.Skill Trident Z and they're both 3000 megahertz. So Paul, it makes sense. I've never even thought about that being a thing, but how does that work out?
Yeah, so that will work. Now, it's what you have, the most important things you've already got. So you got the same brand, same speed. That's the most important. Now, if they can't all be the same capacity, that's even better. But if not, everything should still run fine. You might run into a couple issues, but I think, just slap those in and everything should work fine.
Yeah, that is honestly the first time I think we've ever had that question on the show. So I wanted to make sure to get to that. But now we're going to get over to Danielle's machine and we're going to see what's going on. Let's go ahead and see what we just built for Danielle in Indiana. Ooh, subtle and awesome. Now, there we go. Got that G-Skill lighting up. Now, the one thing about these, I love the fans because they're so subtle. So in a darker room, it's not going to be like, super loud. Let's go ahead and take a look what we've just put inside this machine for our friend Danielle in Indiana. This is a Horus 011 Evo mid-tower in white. It's got an AMD Ryzen 9 7900X processor mounted on an MSI Pro B650P Wi-Fi motherboard. It has 32 gigs of Gill DDR5 5600 RAM and of course that AMD Radeon RX 7600 XT graphics card. The operating system is also going to be put on a 1 terabyte MSI Spaceship M450 M.2. Our CPU will be cooled by a CLX Quench 240 closed loop liquid cooler, as well as 7 GameDSA OLED M3 ARGB fans in black, and the whole thing is going to be powered by an 850 watt GameDS Helios P2 850G 80 plus gold. So congratulations, and we've got your build coming at you once we get it all tested there, Danielle. Huge shout out and thank you to our friend St. George the Great. So excited to see how this works out. And for those of you who have also purchased PCs from us, from here at CLX, we've also got a thread inside, a little section inside of our Discord where you can post your setup pics and let the boys see where you put the things that they built for you, which is awesome. Now, this show happens in 2 different portions. In a moment, we're going to take a break. And when we do, we're going to come back and you're going to spend the afternoon with our friend Zach, who is building all sorts of fun stuff. Who knows? He may just create Skynet. Now, this show happens every Tuesday and Thursday starting at 11 a.m. Pacific. That is 2 Eastern, live right here on the Kicks, the Twitch, the YouTubes, the Twitters, the Facebooks, and the TikToks. You can find us at all places, CLX Gaming. When it comes to our social media, that is YouTube, TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, and Threads. Look at CLX Gaming. If you'd like to join an amazingly cool community of like-minded PC enthusiasts and gamers, head on over to discord.gg/CLX Gaming. And in the meantime, I'm going to kill some zombies here in just a second. So, without further ado, on behalf of Kyle and Jason in production, Paul and Zach, I'm DJ Blue PDX. Don't go away. We've got more coming up after the break. We'll be right back.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.